explain what the Clifton Strength Finder uh, survey is to the audience, and then we can talk about what you see in my results there.
Yes. Well, the Clifton Strengths, and it's named after Don Clifton, who said, wouldn't it be nice to find out what was working and what was right with people than what was wrong? It's a positive approach to leadership and development. And, Keonte did, we unlocked your manager's report, but the Clifton Strengths assessment is based on 50 plus years of research, and it really identifies a set of 34 talent themes that are in order of how they come to fruition in your own life. It's not that you don't have talents in certain areas. It's just that some are more are your top, and some are you don't enjoy as much. And I'll kind of go through some of yours. Uh, and this is from the Clifton Strengths for Managers report, which I think is very important if you're a leader. Your top 10, and I'll just run these down and then I'll give you a little bit of on your top 5: individualization, responsibility, learner, analytical, achiever, competition, futuristic, positivity, self assurance, and arranger. And let me tell you just about your top 5 and see how these ring true. Individualization. My daughter has this in her top 5. You really see the uniqueness of every individual. You really realize how special they are and how different people can be, and you value that. Responsibility, you and I have this, and this is where we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. People can depend on us. But with each of these talents, and I'll say this up front, there is what I call a superpower and an edge. Now, the superpower of responsibility is we're going to get it done. People can give us a task or an assignment, we'll get it done. The edge of this is that we might be up at 3 in the morning getting it done. So we need to be careful about saying yes. And I'll talk about some behavior design issues in just a minute. But learner, a lot of faculty are learners, natural learners. We enjoy the process of learning. I think this is my number 6 talent. So I have this in my top 10 as well. So you enjoy the process of learning. The edge of that might be that you think you need to take one more class before you take action, or you need to read one more book. I say jump in, and I'm trying to do this myself as well. Analytical. I always want someone with analytical on the team or the project, because you can really dive into the details and make sure we don't miss something. So that's a great talent to have. Achiever, you're always thinking of leveling up. What's next? How do we make whatever it is better, whether it's a class project or a podcast, like this? How can we improve this? Competition, just what it sounds, but you're probably pretty competitive with yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to be aware of. It's not necessarily a negative that, oh, he's always competing. You're constantly challenging yourself on what's next, and that's evident because of your career. So you keep moving forward. Futuristic, I have this in my top 5. We can see around the corner. We can see what's coming next. Uh, the challenge that we have is we need to explain to others who don't have futuristic, why are we thinking that way? I had to tell my husband, I kept saying, what are we doing in 5 years? And he does not, he's a live for the moment kind of a guy. So it helped him to see, oh, this is why Judy's always saying, what are we doing in 5 years? What are we doing in 10 years? I think it helped our marriage. So
That's an interesting one.
yeah, you have to be aware of that, because you're so busy in the future. For me, and it's higher on for me. I'm so far. I don't enjoy the tasks that are today, like that paperwork I mentioned. Um, Positivity is another, just what it sounds like. So you are see the glass half full instead of half empty. It's a very good, my 91-year-old mother, that's her number one talent. And I see her, I keep saying, Mom, we are making it through a global pandemic. You know, you've got positivity. So she's great. And self assurance, you feel, you know who you are, you know what you're coming into the situation with, you know what you could bring. That's a great talent to have. People can depend on that. And then a ranger, you can deal with a lot of different balls in the air. It's not a problem for you to do that. Now, I'll say with these, each of these, you can kind of dial them up and dial them down as you need them. Think of them as audio, dial them up, dial them down. And then you can be proactive about some of these as well. Um, you can also think about, Gallup always says talent. So you have the natural talent. If you spend time in the talent, it becomes a strength. So the more you really work on a certain area, futuristic, let's say, the better you will get at predicting or looking around the corner and then doing
Gotcha.
with it, you know? So that's sort of a thumbnail sketch, but I think you're in the right place and definitely in the leadership zone for what you're doing right now and what you're going to do at Syracuse, right?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Yeah,